Good evening and welcome back to Essentials. Welcome back to the coverage of ETF2L Season 52 in the top division. Premise still kill for now, but we're calling it top. It is top. That's how it is. It's week 2, and we're looking at the matchup between the odds the chase on the one side and the Plucky Luckers on the other. A matchup that could potentially be quite interesting. These could be very evenly, interestingly matched teams. For now, though, hi, I'm Cerny, joined by Beater on production and Delta Market on the mic. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Like you said, and I saw this match, it looked really cool because I know there's a lot of good players on both sides. You got Mac. I know there's a lot of Mac fans out there. And then, of course, Charlie on the other side, two staples of the European scene. So I want to see how this one goes. Two good maps as well on Granary and Product. So yeah, excited to see that.
Product is going to be a very interesting one because we've seen some Bagel this season so far. I haven't seen any Product yet, and I know traditionally Mac loves himself as his product every once in a while, so we'll see what strats they've cooked up here. Both of these teams also did manage to win their first week matchup. The odds to chase did pretty well. They kind of dog walked their enemies, their opponents, a little bit in that matchup. Matter of fact, let me just it was Alpha Glock who they beat pretty handily. Like they did really, really well against them. Plucky Luckers, bit of a tougher matchup against the Gremlins. They still came out on top, but it was more grueling. They had to try a little bit harder, and realistically, at least in my opinion, Gremlins certainly a team that has playoffs potential here. So this game will also have some very interesting implications for that, because as far as evenly matching goes for our teams this season, it's hard to call for most teams because there's a lot of mixing and new players and all that stuff, but these are two pretty established teams. At least the Mac team barely changed at all since last season. I think they only swapped around one scout, with Smile now stepping in, while the other team is a bit of a mix-up, but there's a lot of established names in that, right? Zam's on the demo, a strong performer. He did just win Poland earlier this year with Mandem, so there is that, right? Patchouli, a very strong medic. Charlie, a very strong soldier, even though he is only stepping in for tonight, considering KN was originally playing for the team but left. And then, Jabba coming back, previously known as Matthys, to lead these boys once more. Flick rounding out the roster on the scout alongside, I forgot, Rutu, I believe is the other one. Yes, Rutu. So it's a strong roster on paper, but I'm curious. I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. This is going to be an interesting match.
Yeah, like you said, strong on paper, but it's hard to know how much people are actually putting effort into their team, in the scrims, into trying different strats, or if they're more playing for fun. And I guess this game will be a good test for that, to see who's really trying to win the season and make playoffs. We'll get good insight into that, as we do have the 6th player joining the server.
Either side, yeah, look at that. They are keen. All right, looking at this these teams, right? What do you reckon the scoreline could look like at the end of our first map here with Granary? What do you reckon we're looking at in terms of numbers?
I think it's going to be 3-1 for the chase.
Okay. It's a very reasonable prediction. I'm going to be interested to see how the Mac team comes into this, because they are a strong core. I'm expecting this could be closer. Could be maybe a 2-2-all going to Golden Cap or something like that. I guess we'll see as the first mid-fight unfolds. Zam's making his way forward here. Getting cut off, though. Mac winning that duel immediately. Gets the better rollout, gets to cut him off from the pack, and that alone probably just seals the deal on the mid-fight already. There you go. Plucky Luckers claim that one immediately.
Yeah, Mac is now in the garage door side, going through window as the chase kind of just runs away here. Just not going to be able to hold yard without a demo. Demo did just spawn up now, but it looks like there's going to be some pressure through the lunchbox side. Both soldiers posted up in there. Looks like one is going to be going completely through lunchbox, maybe trying to flank, working some sort of play as Mac again pressures the point, maybe trying to make space for the soldier who's now spotted up top. And it looks like that soldier wasn't able to infiltrate, and we have 2 people go down in Z so far.
So far, so good. They're definitely holding their own here. And the Uber still in play as well. Patchouli not quite using just yet. Finally managing to hold it off a little bit longer. Getting a slightly better Uber out of it. Eon's going to have to run away. He might even get cut. No, it doesn't get cut off. Zab's not quite nailing the sticky bomb. So it's going to be just a reset, but perhaps an opportunity still for the chase to make their way into mid here. They're certainly trying a little bit through this choke area, but they're not quite finding the ground before reinforcements arrive, before they just manage to spam it down. So, is a reset. We're going to be looking at this yard for a little bit longer. And it looks like the ball's in the Plucky Luckers court. They feel like they might have an opportunity to get in. Smile eating a lot of damage, actually. before finally getting cleaned up. So much for that. Jumbo trying to follow up as well. They actually get a lot of frags. Turns out you can just flank and get everybody dead. It's just 3 players remaining. No heals either with Eon down. They certainly have a chance to still shut this down. They're doing a lot of damage, slowing them down. Patchouli ate a lot of damage, but Mac might not escape here. He just about does. Dangerous. Very dangerous for the Luckers. They get away with a bruise on this one. They might be down on Uber, but they'll at least have a chance to stabilize.
Yeah, Smile's already in on mid, on top of the crate. Soldier's coming in as well. Smile gets cleaned up immediately, so this pressure still going on as Soldier jumps in through garage side, gets taken down on catwalk as they landed onto the Chase's medic, not doing any damage. Gonna be down 5. I guess they just didn't want to hold last, or they didn't want to bother holding second there down Uber. They just think, let's just get Uber on last. We're gonna end up here anyways. But with that in mind, they're only at 70%. They had no chance to really stall that anymore. So I'm worried about this push coming in. How are they gonna block the Uber? There's already on point. Uber's traded off. Smile blocked it for a second there, but gets cleaned up immediately as Sylves falls as well. And yeah, that's just the end off of that Uber ad.
Cleanly done, Charlie. Nice spawn blocking as well. Just keeping them locked in, making sure nobody's really getting close to that point, nobody able to block, and even if I think Eon was getting very close to Uber there, they just weren't going to get in time to block. So that is 1 round up fairly quickly for the side of the odds to chase, and that was only 3 minutes. So they're coming out swinging. They're certainly putting down a lot of momentum here very early. We'll see if maybe this mid fight goes a bit better for them as well. They didn't need to win last time, but perhaps winning this time can accelerate their play even more. Zam certainly doesn't die instantly. Mac having a bit of a slower rollout, opting for a different angle, means Zams actually gets to participate for once, and the odds to chase get to fight the mid, as Charlie will be the first to fall on their side. They just trade him out for Smile, though, as Sylves goes down as well. Looking like a pretty good mid fight so far, as they find Bloke as well, and with that, I think the remaining players are just gonna lick their wounds and get out of there.
Yes, Smile got bombed by a Soldier, just got taken down kind of immediately at that mid. Didn't look like there was much that could be recovered. Soldier, I think that was Sylves jumped in after that, but, you know, he just didn't find anything there. Going down 2 is not what the Plucky Lunkers wanted there. They're going to be trying to hold second here. Soldier jumped in. That's Jubba going to get cleaned up immediately, though. Might see some pressure come out. Looks like Lunchbox is going to be the door for that as the combo. Sylves leads this one along with his scout partner. Smiles. The split gets dropped by the medic right there. Going down, and maybe going to see an Uber trade, which is what happens. But Bloke and Sylves do go down, maybe getting too eager, or maybe miscommunication with Eon there, but there is an Uber chase happening in garage. Patchouli gets caught in there. Oh, Zams as well. That was really well played. But Soldier flanked in, took down the medic at the last moment.
Charlie coming out of retirement after a few years of just, you know, eventually subbing every once in a while. Jubba as well. A beautiful double killer onto the scouts, just delaying that cap ever so slightly more. Matter of fact, single-handedly just stopping whatever momentum the Plucky Luckers had there. They could have easily capped mid with that, but with both of those scouts going down and just that medic frag as well, now having a bit of an ad. It's not huge, but it is 30% on the side of Patchouli. This is going to turn the tide completely for them. What was a horrible situation, really, for the odds to chase. Suddenly we're looking mighty fine. Another opportunity here to get into second now. Uber coming up very quickly as well, and Luckers are gonna have to start stalling this a little bit. They're not down much, so if they can stall this out on second ever so slightly, it will probably be okay, but they really need to start making some inroads here, and they're getting the attention spread thing. There's the Uber coming through the top of Lunchbox. They find Bloke immediately. Trade out for Charlie, though, as the rest of the team falls back. Eon doesn't quite have it. Eats a lot of damage. Gets taken down as well. That is a beautiful use of the Uber. It doesn't even matter now if it doesn't find anything else. You killed 3 already. You killed the med. The rest are low. This is an easy last push.
Yeah, it is. On point is Rutu taking down Smile, and no one else left to contest. That round, slight ad, they go in, get 1. It looks like it's going to be even, but they just keep chasing with Charlie, and I think Flick as well, just running in through the Granary pipe, getting onto the medic. That really sealed the round for them there.
Running away with it a little bit. I was expecting a bit more of a fight here out of the Plucky Luckers. Perhaps just need a little bit more time to get warmed up. Perhaps the odds of chase are showing that they really do have all that talent on their team for a reason. As Mac is opting for the choke rollout once more, it's gonna be an equal situation for the demos this time around. Nobody getting each other off just yet, and it's gonna be down to how these soldier bombs evolve once more. Zam's eating a lot of damage, so it means he's gonna be compromised for a bit, as Bloke goes for the high bomb across. Does land directly on top of the demo, but gets cleaned up immediately as well. Flick's got his number, and that is the first frag all in favor of the Austin Chase. Nobody else going down just yet. Finally, Rutu gets cleaned up. There's Charlie taken care of as well. Maybe the tides are turning if Sylvs can get something done here. Nice rocket there onto the soldier. It won't be enough to get the kill with the scout chasing them down. That will be a trade-up, but they do find Zams, which might just be crucial enough to keep them in this. With the players now in advantage, SNH and Smile able to maybe even chase us a little bit, at least trying to against the Soul Soldier defending his medic. Does look like they're really fiending for that exchange potentially even, but they're just going to try and keep fighting this the traditional way. If it goes into an Uber exchange, it certainly suck, and Eon does have to pop there. Nice force.
Yeah, Jubba just jumped in off of that and managed to get the force. Surprising there. Smile does go down at the tail end of this, so we have Patch Chewy with full Uber advantage. Going to be trying to take this into mid, no doubt, off of this ad. Going to have to see how they manage to break down Yard, though, because it looks like that's still being held by the Plucky Lunkers, who do have Charlie jumping across the left side of Yard here. Going to be going towards the choke side. That's everyone out, so now it's just mid-left. Going to be led on by Smile, I think, going through Catwalk. Actually, that's Flick going through Catwalk. Finds a scout, taking that duel. Does a lot of damage, but Bloke actually takes him down, so the start of that push did not go the way they wanted. Now they're backing out.
And I have to reset with that one. That's a crucial player there that you're missing for that charge through, especially Granary mid. So hard to push into when you're missing that scout as well. So it's on the Plucky Luckers now to try and do the same, get some sacks. But Bloke and SNH both going down simultaneously, basically. Immediately puts a lid on that. That opens up. Nice initiative here potentially for Jubba. Charlie's already in. Jubba following up as well. Onto the medic. Nice damage there. Gets the force out of Eon immediately. Patchouli still hasn't had to use. Finally uses. That's basically 2 Ubers for the price of 1, considering they never had to use the other one after Eon forced. And Eon might just get caught here. Does get caught. That is just a house of cards collapsing for the Plucky Luckers. Slowly but surely. They might be trading favorably here. But ultimately, as long as Patchouli lives, the odds of Chase are going to stay on top of this.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to see if SNH can make anything happen. All the way in through Lunchbox, gets spotted, not able to flank. Was probably trying to get on the medic there somehow. Wasn't able to. We do have a lot of the players for the Chase, or the Plucky Luckers, hiding up in Yard. However, you know, getting this force... Actually, the Ubers equalized somehow.
Yeah.
Not sure how that happened, but they are holding Yard as there is contestation coming from the Lunchbox side. Looks like they do have it held down. And yeah, I'm very surprised they equalized the Ubers. I wonder if Chase knows the Ubers are even, or if they're going to be assuming they have ad here.
They should assume they have it, but it turns out that Eon was building a lot quicker than Patchouli was. Charlie gets taken down as well, which slows him down ever so slightly more, and if they really want to go for the exchange, now it's as time as ever. They might just have to wait at least a little bit for things to stabilize. Zams might just get caught here in Garage as well. Eats a lot of damage. Eventually does manage to back up, meet up with his team again, but that opens up a little bit of ground here for the Plucky Luckers. Sylv's already bombing in across. Lots of damage there. They do clean up a couple of frags as well as the Ubers are finally exchanged. Obviously, it's a lot better for the side of the odds to chase, but they also have no positioning to really use it with. They're just about escaping with the scouts staring them down the entire way, and they gotta get out to last. They gotta wait this one out. The Plucky Luckers are already feeling very aggressive on the left side here as well.
Yeah, they are all the way in as Sylvs jumps in, makes some space. Charlie does end up going down there, gets an arrow as Bloke jumps all the way in. Sylvs following it up by landing on the high ground. So much damage from these soldiers on the side of Plucky Luckers. Seems like they did so much damage they're allowed their scouts to get in. But actually, there it is. Rutu at the end cleans up 2. Might take down a 3rd, fighting the medic on the point. He was so close, but 35.
Smile eventually clutches up. He missed so many shots onto Patchouli. Eventually gets them. That's what matters. That keeps them in this, because that was a very dire last push. Very unfortunate. They couldn't quite close it out. So close. Rutu pulling out miracles out of his hat, managing to hold that one on. The cap time won't matter either, but crucially for them, they still have a nice position. Eon isn't going to have any sort of ad, and they didn't get to cap 2nd either. So actually, cap time might matter after all. Jumba's trying to delay here as best he can. Won't get any frags though, and with that, I think the Plucky Luckers are going to be fancying themselves another chance of getting to last year. With the sniper as well, they dealt with him already. Unless he still brings off a headshot, that's still taking down Mac as well. A little bit of cap time, but Patchouli dies again. Eon might just live, might just escape. Bloke is there to defend him as well. Surely, they'll be able to keep that soldier, keep that medic safe. So they will keep that Uber ad. They do lose 2nd for it.
Yeah, SNH just ran in through left while Mac bombed in, and very surprised to see, but no one was watching that left side, and so SNH was just able to get cleanly on the medic, taking him down. Like you said, now it's going to be Uber advantage for the Plucky Luckers, and they're going to be going all the way in through, trying to fight over the second point. We've seen a couple of these situations, and it kind of seems like most of the time the teams don't put up much of a fight. I mean, what can you really do when there's massive disad? We're going to see another Uber through the high ground side here, through Lunchbox, as we do have Smile leading it through, and again, not a lot of contestation, so that means there's an Uber window. We're going to see Matt going in, jumping straight across into the sentry gun, which has not been taken out yet, takes a couple seconds down. Soldier jumping around the Jubba, 37 health up top, didn't get cleaned up as Sylves goes down to the escape plan. Point cap is going down, but it looks like the Heavy has come out full health. That's going to be very difficult to deal with, and the Uber has come out for the side of the shits, but no one's on point! Oh my god, it's so close.
So close. They have to glue themselves to that point. Crucially, though, they've killed enough players. It won't probably matter if the Heavy alive as well. Just not enough focus coming out of the side of the Plucky Luckers, managing to focus down enough players, so they won't be able to round that one out just yet. Crucially, though, they will keep their advantage. It's not as big this time. They still have it, and it will be enough potentially for another push here if they move very quickly, fast enough, get themselves into nice positions. They have a chance. Sentry is being built. Rutu is up on the engineer, but will it matter? Will it be high enough level to really deny much ground? It's really going to be down to how well they can make use of this Uber, and they're taking very long. Eventually, they come in through the left side again, trying to get something done. Immediately find a sentry, but they have to find some players as well if they actually want to have a chance at capping this point. Stickies are still on there as well. They find Jubba. The Heavy is in play once more as well. Eats a lot of damage, but crucially doesn't die yet. Max Silves get taken down. The Uber was popped out of Patchouli as well, and with that, the point once more will not be changing colors or hands just yet. But they also can't really push out with that lack of a soldier. They can pressure a little bit into second here, but Zams eats a lot of damage from the meat shot immediately, so they have to be careful. It's not a freebie for the taking just yet. They are certainly fighting for it.
Yeah, they are fighting over it, as we still have a couple of players for Lucky rolling out. We do have Sylves finally showing up. Rutu has switched to NG, but again, it's slight ad. This time it's a little bit more, and they're going in early, taking the gun out early. This gives the Lucky a much better chance here. Bloke does go down though at the start as they bomb on to Zams. Patchouli goes down, Flick goes down. Everyone is kind of falling here to this early pressure. We do have a soldier flank, but who cares when the point's being capped right from under you?
Turns out all they needed was to give them less time to set up. You don't even need the Uber. Matter of fact, Eon died, so he couldn't even have used it. There you go. Finally, took a couple of attempts, and we're now about 15 minutes into the map, so half the time has been played. So Plucky Luckers are finding their way back into this. Get around on the board. Certainly more to play for as well. Guess we'll see how they try to approach it in this next mid-fight. Their mids haven't been terribly convincing. The first one went well, but that was off the back of just a nice denial on Zams. Again, lots of damage onto him early. Mac kind of having his number a little bit, but crucially this time around, Zams does live, is compromised for a bit, but will reaggress, will provide his team with support, and it's going to be down to Soldiers trying to get across here as well. Unfortunately, neither Zams or Charlie find anything, as the Demo and the Soldier now taken out. Still's only turned on the other side. Smile already on the flank with his beam in tow as well, and they're just trying to get this team backed off, and a lot of damage onto them in yard here already. Mid being capped, and they're just in. They just really want to fight this, but Chuli's going to get Uber first, if it's going to matter. And Eon is very low, with Mac down as well. Uber might be very compromised if it comes down to it. SNH gets taken down. Eon actually dies as they pop off the Uber on the other side. I think there's going to be some choice words about that one from Coach Doey.
Yeah, I mean, just not getting the Uber in time, it's kind of unfortunate, but even before the Uber came up, it looked like Mac kind of got left out there, not able to leave quickly enough, maybe a little too forward with that aggression, but Jubba's already in talking about aggression on the catwalk side. It looks like 2 down. The chase can just kind of walk in as Jubba leads the charge, just takes an SNH. You can bomb scouts apparently, no problem. SNH down. That's another, pin, as you could say, that's falling here, as now it's a 5v6. Chase keeps it up, leading the Flick on this point, trying to slowly pressure the cap down as Mac tries to block it. No doubt there's going to be pressure from some of these other doors, but most of the team is just sitting around points as Flick walks in again. Soldier bombing in from Lunchbox, trying to get on Mac. As Mac hits his shots, though, Flick goes down. It's 2 for 2, but Demo going down on the side of Lucky is going to be really bad for their defensive chances.
Yeah, they really have to try and hold this. They bought a lot of time, and Eon is going to get an Uber very, very soon, but he still needs to 10% more or so. really get there, and they're giving them so much ground as well. Patchouli hasn't even had to use yet. They're just grabbing ground for free. SNH gets taken down as well. A lot of damage here onto the combo player. Sylvs very low. They're just getting so much good positioning. Matter of fact, Sylvs gets taken down. Jabba trying to trade out for a soldier here, and it's just an absolute disaster for the Plucky Luckers. They might have a couple of respawners, aka Mac as the sole respawner, to try and turn the tide here a little bit as the Ubers have faded. And they do find the frag onto Zams at the very least, but there's so much cap time. They have to be glued to this point, and that makes them sitting ducks for the soldiers and their aggression. They do find Charlie. This fight is not over just yet. Rutu gets taken down as well. Traded out for Bloke though. Eventually, they clean up the players, so we're flicked down as well. And Jabba escorting out the medic. It looks like they might have just held on. And Jabba's still fighting this, and he doesn't want to fight against Smile. Just about managing to live for the time being as well. So he's going to be a thorn in their side still. Even if they get second, now they have to worry about that soldier coming in from topside here potentially, or Lunchbox. Might just meet up with his team as well, but you know, they give him a lot of position. They aren't in any position to keep pushing us forward, and Smile's still respawning as well. This could just be a re-aggression or an Uber exchange coming across the point any minute.
Yeah, I still have no idea how Plucky Luckers won that last hold, but they did pull it out, and now we do have Flick taking an Uber straight into the side of the chase. Just take this the Uber in. Sylvs is on the high ground, trying to chase down the players who went behind. Taking a 2v1 in the box is going to go the way of Smile, who gets one of those frags there. Fight still continuing on here, but it looks like the chase really just went in, and it did not pay off for them.
SNH on the flank doesn't quite get what he wants, but does a little bit of damage. Softens up the medic. Nice pipe out of Zams. Nice one. Does shut down Mac eventually, but Patchouli dies nonetheless. So does Zams, and so does Rutu. With only Jabba and Flick alive, both of which having just respawned. This is a clean mid-cap now for the side of Plucky Luckers, and probably some momentum they can keep rolling forward. Patchouli just now spawning. This is a massive, massive advantage for the side of the Plucky Luckers and Eon, and surely they'll be trying to roll this forward. That's a lot of aggression though coming out of the chase. They really want to make sure that this Uber does not get taken for free. Maybe even sack a couple players for it, and just keep the whole team very aggressively poised here, just really trying to slow them down, buy themselves some time. Maybe they can get away with a little bit, but Eon doesn't quite have yet. No Uber to pop or drop if there isn't one yet, but surely they're going to use this for Lunchbox and just go straight into the enemy team.
Yeah, the chase started being really aggressive there, and it kind of did not work out for them. That's why they lost that fight, trying to push into second. They tried it again on mid, and it's not working out. So Chase pulled out that aggression, hasn't worked. We do have Rutu on Sniper. Uber popped immediately, going to make that Sniper back spawn and change their class. We do have Stickies on the right side of point, but everyone's just rotating to left. Flick did get taken down, though. That is a crucial kill as Bloke is on the high ground, shooting down at these players who do get Uber. Airshot going off. Double airshot did get missed, but this Uber chase not going to really be able to get all the way into lobby. Players are even, and actually there was, so yeah, it's a 4v4 now. It looked like for a second the Plucky Pluckers were trying to go back in, but they decided not to, and they're just going to be holding back on second.
There was an opportunity for a minute, but with SNH going down, they definitely cannot commit to any sort of aggression here. Also, Eon took a while to continue building again after that Uber, so that's actually equalized now. It was a bit of an ad, as you know, it's just faded away. Smile. SNH picking up the rifle for the side of Plucky Luckers. Certainly a dangerous sniper when he gets his angles. Now, Granary last, especially on the offense. Not the most generous sniper angles known to man, but a cheeky little door opening and catching somebody in the wrong position. Like a Zams who's just standing there. Pretty crucial pick to get. Sure, you lose Sylvs for it, but Sylvs was the door opener. And now with the demo down, you can maybe pressure the point a little bit. The sentry's being moved as well right now, so actually a dangerous situation just overall. And the medic just in so much dangerous ground there as well. SNH getting beautiful angles, not quite nailing the shot that time. But Jabba gets taken down. Charlie trying his best here to keep the team at bay, but won't be able to do it either. And that's a nice headshot onto Mac to maybe turn the tides, but Rutu gets taken down on the other side. It's just players falling either side, but crucially the numbers are in favor of the Plucky Luckers, and their Ubers are going to fade around the same time. So if they can get good positioning here for a refight, this could very well go in their favor in the end, with Flick taken down and Patchouli. No heals now on the board for Jabba, the sole survivor. And a respawner coming around just about with Charlie and Rutu, but is it going to be enough? No, they can't make it out of spawn in time.
Yeah, Smile and Sylvs just bombed at the end of that fight and absolutely destroyed the other King's combo. Eon also got an arrow kill in that fight, so definitely going the way of the Plucky Luckers, and we do have 2-2. I was a little worried, I'm not going to lie, at the first, 10 minutes of this match when it was 2-0, but they are turning this around fast.
They're finding their stride. It took a little bit to get warmed up now with just under 9 minutes left on the clock. Anybody's game to play for, 2-all. And certainly plenty of opportunities for either team to close this out in regulation time. And by that I mean close it out without having to go to a golden cap. But for now, I have to try this mid-fight. Do it the old-fashioned way. Patchouli ate a lot of damage early on already, means that he's compromised. There you go! That's the medic eliminated. Both soldiers for it, but still, no heals and no Zams means that this mid-fight is gonna be an uphill battle for the chase. Crucially, they just find all the frags, though. Their scouts just run around and kill literally everybody. And they're certainly gonna kill Eon now as well, as he can only hold off 2 scouts for so long. He's doing a mighty fine job, but he's just gonna delay the inevitable and give the enemy quite the uber ad to work with in the end. Crucially, though, they're going to take a while to cap mid, so maybe there's a bit of a chance for them to at least, you know, recoalesce, defend on the Plucky Lucker's side.
Yeah, Jubba flanked in that mid, actually, and got into the choke and did, like, 4 million damage in that choke. Didn't get a frag, but it did help all those scouts get those cleanup frags, though, so I think Jubba kind of recognized that early on. That was good for him. We do have the cap finally going down. Slight Uber ad. Not sure if that's going to be enough to work off of, but considering how aggressive the chase has been going, I'm sure they're going to try something with it. Looks like they're already in garage, just pressuring both players on both sides. Zam's shooting stickies both ways. Going to be trying to clear the other team's stickies, of course, as we do have finally the Uber is going to be arrived, and we're going to learn what the plan is. If it's going to be an Uber exchange, yep, it's just going to be run right in with the Uber ad, try to take these frags down, as it looks like do get Sylvs and Mac both getting caught out is huge. They could go to last off this if they wanted to.
Very easily. They will have to worry about the Uber on Eon unless they can somehow sneak in a Soldier Jubba already trying. But this is a very nice opportunity for them to get themselves onto this last point immediately. The cap time being put down. Uber basically forced out just to protect it. Jubba living on 1 health and then 2 health. Just, this man does not care about chip damage. He shrugs it off like it's nothing. Charlie and Rutu now getting taken down, though, means that they will have to slow down. And Zams actually gets caught as well, trying to escape, so maybe, just maybe, the Plucky Luckers find themselves in a bit of a second wind here. Maybe even an opportunity to, well, chase down the chasers, as Jubba and Patchouli are just trying to make their way out. Flick following up a little bit as well, but will get caught immediately for his troubles, and the rest of the team escaping, but they're just going to keep this momentum rolling forward. This is a boulder going downhill, and as long as that Uber is not in play for the side of Patchouli, they're not going to have to be able to do much besides run away. Now, that said, he's getting it very soon. Eon doesn't quite have yet, and Flick spawning as well. They might just fancy themselves an opportunity to get into mid here, but they have to move really fast, and I don't think it's happening at this rate with how they're positioned, so yeah, they're waiting this one out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to be holding it down, going to be trying to make the other team make a mistake first, as it looked like Mac is going to be going into the garage, going to be seeing what they get cooked up, as Jubba jumps into the window, does some spam in there. Mac finally spamming stickies out the side, and it's going to be left side yard as Sylvs jumps it in, misses the air shot, gets cleaned up by Charlie, as that was the play, and it didn't work out, and we're going to have the chase going in through the choke side, all the way in, getting spammed down by on the high ground. Soldier coming in, that's Jubba, doing a lot of damage to the other team's medic, actually, as both teams trade their Ubers, trying to find tags behind the other team's combo, not able to find anything there, as it looks like Sylvs is going to try to take the high ground here. Soldier jumping into the other choke, that's Bloke, who takes so much damage, goes down, but almost kills the other team's medic. Patch Chewie doesn't care, isn't phased, is all the way pinned as the fight continues. Jubba trying to chase scouts into his own team's garage. SNH gets cleaned up, but that leaves Smile to go for the medic, who gets that frag, and that's going to be medic ad. It looks like the Lucky Pluckers are very happy having their medic alive. They're just going to be backing up with that.
Yeah, just bank off of that, make the most of it, even if you concede mid here for a little bit. Mac is taking his boys forward a little bit, seeing if he can cut somebody off, and just the pressure alone is enough to make the odds of chase. Give up that mid cap and have to back off even more. And this is such a huge Uber ad. They really have to be worried about last at this point, unless they can get a crazy force at this rate, which nobody's really positioned to, especially with Rutu dying as well as he overextends himself. It's ever gonna be ever so much more harder to really do this. They have to really be thinking about his last defense. Plick already picking up the engineer, trying to build a sentry in the meantime. Charlie posed very far forward. I think he can maybe catch somebody up top as Mac just Ubers right across with a sticky jump directly into the left side spawn here. Doesn't find much besides the sentry, but shutting that down is very, very helpful as well, already as well, with Charlie now taking out of the equation as well as Flick. Cap time can be put down. They do have to worry about the explosive classes though eventually coming across, and they find a frag with the bloke, but that's it. That's all she wrote, and the Soul Zams ain't gonna break the bank on that either. So the Plucky Luckers finally go up in the series, and we've now 4 minutes left on the clock. They might just start resting a little bit. It's starting to look pretty good for them. They only have to hold out 4 more minutes, and they'll be home clear.
Yeah, Plucky Luckers have won the last 3 rounds in a row, so they have to be feeling good, but the Chase has never really let off the aggression. They have been playing very well this whole series, so gonna have to be careful, as I'm sure Zams is gonna want to start this mid off with aggression, is my prediction, but maybe I'm wrong there.
Yeah, does take the high ground this time around. Won't be cutting off from his pack, but also crucially doesn't get it, so he's a bit vulnerable up there, eats a bit of damage, and so far these mids haven't really been going in the favor of the Ozzy Chase most of the time. They're not quite finding responses to the soldiers out of Plucky Luckers. Sills again with a nice bomb across here, slowing a little bit of space, and maybe handing off a little bit more to their scouts, right? Rutu and Flick, maybe seeing if they can make something happen here. They really need to find some good aggression, good focus onto some target here on this mid-fight, but they're just not getting in position. Sills again, nice, beautiful bomb onto the medic, nice, 2 rockets, takes down Patchouli. Jabba taken down as well as he tries to bomb the other side, trades up with Loke effectively. Now Zam's gonna be trying to see if he can sneak away a kill here. Mac is very low, but does get the arrow in time, will live. Positioning certainly not great, but they just use their Uber because they don't have to worry about anything on the other side. Perhaps they didn't want to use it, and they still have to worry about a Flick who is just hiding up here on the catwalk. Nobody spotted him just yet, but maybe he's just gonna try and fight as an agent and probably lose considering his health actually smiles there to clean up the kill. And there you go. They win mid, get themselves, well, equal Ubers now. I guess that's the saving grace for the side of the odds to chase, but they still have to worry about staying on last with that, so good luck to them.
Yeah, Rutu on G, Smile, of course, finishing the cap. Basically even Ubers, but that's not going to stop the Luckers from going in the right side here into Garage, trying to do whatever they can, but they just get bombed by Charlie, does so much damage. Matt gets stuck in. Other soldier actually came in through the other way, took down the medic. This was like a full-on dry fight with no Uber. It kind of went the side of Lucky as they do retain their Uber.
Yeah, Smile crucially keeping his medic safe as well against the aggression of Flick. Hutu as well doing a lot, but still not managing to fight off this angry Smile man who is just very much so happy to keep that medic's Uber in play. And for the rest of the team coming up as well, this is a prime opportunity, silver platter for the Plucky Luckers to really round this one out. Ensure absolutely that they've got the map secured. Even with 90 seconds left on the clock, there's a coast-to-coast possibility here for the odds to chase if this push goes awry. With the Uber coming through now, not much of a defense yet, and the Sentry taken down already. Players getting taken down. Matter of fact, Patchouli the first to fall means no heals at all. The crucial thing saving them right now is the back cap on second. That was buying a lot of time and pulling back a lot of aggression, but ultimately it's not going to be enough to make them win any more rounds here. And with the last minute of the clock now ticking down, is looking like the Plucky Luckers have won and have another opportunity to just round out a final round to take home for the next map. With Zams and Jabba taken down as well, Captain being put down, Soldier trying to bomb, not quite finding the aggression though they need to. And there you go, 4-2 for the Plucky Luckers. Slow team to get started, but once they were there, they looked quite decisive.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's just like they had to get warmed up, and then once that train stopped, it was just never getting stopped. The Chase put up so many good mid-fights, but never, I don't think, won a single mid-fight actually during that, but yeah, just didn't go their way at the end.
I think they won a single one, but it didn't matter in the end, because it's not like they converted much off the back of it. I'm sure the logs are going to be interesting to look at for this, and I'm sure the Plucky Luck is going to be happy with their performance in the end. A bit of a stumble at the start, certainly something to talk about, but they are looking pretty, and if this continues into product, they might just be taking home the full 6 points tonight. I guess we'll see. For now, they win Granary, GG's in chat and all that. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of happy players there. I don't know. I find it interesting because there's a lot of emotional players on that Plucky Luckers team, right? Smile, known for getting loud sometimes, and I do wonder how the dynamics were for the first like 10 minutes when they were down 2 rounds and things weren't looking so hot, but hey, maybe they had what it took, right? They had the glue guy, which I don't know. I think it's probably Mac, I would assume, is the glue guy on that one. Just keeping it all together, and it worked out. We'll see. What a map. What a map.
Yeah, I don't know if the stream has the logs open, but I am looking at them, and yeah, Smile, I bet he was pretty loud at the end of that fight. He top damaged the whole server by a pretty large margin, actually. 350 on Scout is insane.
That is, especially on Granary, no less, right? This is not a Scout map usually. This is a Soldier's playground, a Demo's playground perhaps, and Zams, putting down some decent numbers as well, but Smile just having a wonderful match. SNH also 35 and 15. That's nothing to scoff at whatsoever, right? So both of these scouts cleaning house so much, following up their soldiers' damage, which, well, you know, they took a bit of a backseat. Bloke as the roamer playstyle, but they did enough. They did enough with the damage, and the scouts just went haywire. I was honestly expecting that Flick and Rutu would put up a better fight. Like, they still did well, and Rutu had that one save on last, right? But I was expecting that they would put up a bit more of a better fight here in comparison. They weren't as impactful, right, as the Lucker's scouts were. And their team seems to be, as you can clearly see, much more focused around the soldier plays. Charlie and Jubba making a lot of room, making a lot of plays back, you know, causing a lot of havoc. And obviously Zam's laying down monstrous damage, but they weren't quite there with the follow-up enough of the times, I think. And that's probably what made the difference in the end. It may allowed them to come out swinging, but as soon as they had the soldiers on lock, I feel like that's when the tides turned.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It definitely did help that it felt like near the end, definitely the second half of the map, the Plucky Luckers were kind of on the forward foot, as it were, so that might have helped their scouts a bit, but that definitely cannot account for everything. And the frags, too, 30 and 35 is just insane. I think that just kind of speaks to what kind of started happening as the match progressed. If you have scouts putting that up, it must mean everyone on your team is doing something right. The soldiers definitely making a lot of space, and if the scouts can follow it up, there's not much you can do to stop that.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Let me check the logs exactly. How many kills of those were onto the soldiers? Because I feel like they were probably just taking down Charlie and Jubba a lot, and that was probably contributing a fair bit.
Pretty equal kills across scouts and soldiers for
Really?
both of them.
Curious. Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. Now, the second map is Metalworks. I know you said product earlier, but that's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. Metalworks is it's an interesting continuation because, again, unlike our other 5CP maps, not necessarily the most scout-centric one, right? But if your scouts were already going kind of wild on Granary, perhaps it's going to be a continuation of the story here, because Smile and SNH are looking dangerous. It's probably one of, if not the strongest scout duo we have in this season. I don't think there's many others, just off the top of my head, this season with the scout duos we have in the top division teams. But still, like that's a scary comp to go up against. But still, the odds of chase, I wonder how they're gonna have to adjust here, right? Well, what's your strat? They were relying a lot on the soldiers, especially Jubba and Charlie, especially Jubba, trying to make a lot of room and trying to get away with a lot. And for a while they did. So how do you adjust that now, right? Because if the scouts continue to be on fire like that, I don't know if that's gonna work that well, right? I feel like they're gonna struggle a bit.
It's definitely rough to deal with it. I could see maybe they'll try to play a little slower, but that doesn't necessarily work. Then you kind of just lose all the space. So they're going to have to figure that one out. That's probably what they're talking about now. Or they're talking about nothing. Who knows? Gonna be looking for that one. Like you said, different map. It plays a little differently. Like on this map, I feel like it's a little, oddly enough, harder to high bomb. You can't like hide behind the crates and then pull out a high bomb. So we'll have to see how that kind of changes everything, because the soldiers will have to get a little more creative. If they just like do a single pencil jump in, that won't go as well as it can on Granary.
It is interesting. There's obviously the classic right through the alley, into second, and I remember vividly seeing Jubba do that one a lot throughout the last season, and whenever the opportunity arose. So it seems like a very favored play of his. The problem is it's kind of telegraphed, right? It's very obvious that is usually where the soldiers are going to come from, what the aggression is going to look like. So I don't know. Maybe they have some strats for this. Maybe they also clean up their mid fights. Crucially, they were struggling with those. But the gamers are keen, they're getting going. Plucky Luckers take map 1 of Granary, but Metalworks is anybody's game. And we'll see if the Odds of Chase can find themselves back in this, get some points taken off of this, or if they're going to be squarely in the second place for this matchup for now, as the mid-fight may unfold. And there's a little bit of damage with the soldier already. Bloke just, having to take it a little bit slower. Sylves goes across directly on top of the medic again. Beautiful one rocket. Oh, what a beautiful direct for the second one. That's 2 players for the price of 1. Zams and Patchouli taken care of, and this mid is already a disaster. The saving grace being a frag onto Eon, and maybe a couple frags here as well with the players getting cleaned up. But It's certainly not the best mid they could have wanted. Charlie manages to get the kill onto Mac there, just about. And Bloke, sole survivor. They try to turn the tides here, but a little bit of chip damage is all you can really settle for. And against 2 scouts, it's just a losing battle, a war of attrition eventually that will just fade away for you. And you just have to either run or concede. And for now, he's running. He's trying to be a little bit of a nuisance here. So far, so good. He's certainly buying a lot of aggression just off of that mid cap. Eventually, though, Jabba cleans it up, and looks like it's going to be a second mid fight. Well, I was going to say that Eon just died in the meantime on the backlines, actually, as Rutu just ran forward. So much for that.
Yeah, Rutu just got under through the main door and just walked up the pipe where scouts are usually building and just shot the medic. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, that is what happened. Flick is in through alley, looking for high bombers, looking for hiders that we were talking about in the pre-game. None of those existed. We do have a sniper, though, far into lobby who did take a shot, ended up missing it. SNH not able to find a shot this time. So we're going to have fooled ad. SNH is going to be peeking very passively, though, so that is something to continue to keep an eye on.
Let's see how they try to roll this. It's a big ad into last on Metalworks, and they usually come out swinging on these maps first. Clearly, if Granary is anything to go by, so now's the chase. Prime opportunity to convert a quick round here. They have to worry about all these players scattered about. Sentry takes a while to be taken down, but it was only level 2. Eventually, they find Bloke as well as a consolation across side, and there goes Sylves, with Captain being put down as well. Zam's very low, but it doesn't matter because there's so many players just swarming that point, and nobody from the Plucky Luckers you can get close to try and protect. So there you go, another quick round. Under 3 minutes this time around. Things are looking mighty fine once more for the Asa Chase, but they have to keep that up. They have to show that they have the stamina to keep this performance going, because they came out swinging last time, and then it fell apart after a while, so we'll see if they can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, Jabba and Charlie played that so aggressively into the last, going the other side of the Uber, and it just opened up the whole space for them, and that was amazing. That's kind of what they need, right, to take back the map after they lost the first one.
Well, there's an opportunity. Once more, another mid-fight, perhaps. Okay, but going as well. Bloke going down early means they have a bit of a player out to work with. Charlie finds some nice ground here as well. Nobody really, well, shutting him down as much. Flick gets taken down eventually, though, and with that, it's back to equal. And the ground's looking nice. Nice for the Luckers. They have good positioning here to work with. Sylves managing to chase on Jabba as well into the rollout area here, so it's just looking worse and worse. Now that flank is on through Valley, perhaps. Cut off that soldier instead, clean up Charlie, make sure he doesn't try anything funny. And that is a patchouli left unattended at the very least. Only a medic and a scout protecting him. That's a nice rocket onto Rutu to clean that up, and there you go. Smouth to clean up onto patchouli. Trying to fight out the demo here with Zams as well. He has no chance. And that's a quick clap back here for the Plucky Luckers. A couple of players alive. They have to be on last. And they have to expect this full Uber coming their way.
Yeah, they know it's coming, and it's going to be the left door as the Uber doesn't even get popped instantly. Smilet's dropped, though. Charlie finding that one. Mac trying to walk in, trap up the point, but there is a lot of point pressure as Mac hits a quick 2-pipe onto Rutu. Juba goes down to SNH, and fortunately, the Uber ad is strong enough just to take that one down for the Plucky Luckers, who definitely lucked out after that one.
Mac just big dick walking across the point, just dealing all the damage to, you know, making sure players are distracted. Alright, I'm just gonna kill what's in front of me. A little bit of damage. Get a bit of that final cap time, and they clap back. This is not a repeat of Granary just yet. Both of these teams coming out swinging. Both of these teams showing that once they have even just a good ad, they can actually convert those. This isn't a situation where you get ads and then you kind of can't do anything. No, they are certainly converting right now. This next mid-fight underway, Zam's already eating a lot of damage early, means he's compromised for a bit. Eventually as well, the positioning just so good for the Plucky Luckers already. So just trying to bump across, but there's Bloke onto the demo. Nice damage onto Zams. Does get the kill eventually. Charlie gets cleaned up as well. But that's 2 for the price of 1. Traded out, and positioning so compromised for the Asa Chase means they are out of there. Matter of fact, Rutu gets cleaned up trying to escape, and still a little bit on the chase here. Seeing if he can take down the Chase players, but I think the rest of them have escaped for now. Crucially, Patchouli stays alive, so they will keep that Uber in tow. And they will have an opportunity to, at the very, very least, protect last. But maybe even protect second, considering mid hasn't even been capped yet, and the respawners will be here in time, so could be looking at an exchange here in this lobby area.
Yeah, could definitely...
Nah. They opted against it, fair enough.
Yeah, they didn't do any of that, so it's just an even hold on last. We do have Rutu switching to NG as SNH goes down to a trap, and we do have Jabba jumping in through the right side, not able to cut off Mac, who is a little bit further forward.
Ooh. That's a dangerous bomb to get through. Doesn't quite get anything done with it though. Eon will live. And I'm just gonna rotate around to the other side of lobby. It's a bit safer perhaps. That's an initiative there. Now flick on the sniper. Means that just a nice little frag here onto perhaps Bloke. No, just a body shot for now, but he does die. Oh, and nice headshot onto Mac as well. That's certainly gonna slow things down. They're gonna slow play this. They're gonna hold this, and this might grind to a bit of a halt now.
Yeah, like you said, it is going to slow down as when you have Sniper NG, it's kind of hard to push up. You can, let your Sniper do some peeks, which it looks like they are doing, but like to fully push out requires you to kind of get off those classes, and when you commit to this hold, there's no other way to do it. Metalworks, of course, is a classic for having a gun. You kind of have it prevent the only high bomb you can do, and then if you can't high bomb, you can't really get on the medic. That's kind of the theory of this, but if you just Uber in, none of that matters, does it? Mac takes the gun down as this Uber only finds the engineer's equipment, and they're just going to leave after that.
Didn't even get any sort of exchange out of it whatsoever. Patchouli in no danger, not a single frag being made. A bit of a moot Uber that one, and I don't have to worry about the counter coming out. Now, obviously, Mac might be fancying himself a little sticky trap that does something, but unfortunately for him, the players just went through another door, and Eon gets taken down. Crucially, that is so huge for them here. They didn't even have to use necessarily. They still did, but they're gonna have such a big ad to work with regardless. With Mac and Bloke the only players left, and well, their medic safe and secure in lobby. Nothing to worry about. There you go, a full wipe out of the Plucky Luckers. Odds the chase, staying on top of it. Eon the first to spawn, and just kind of waiting it out, because nobody else is there to back him up just yet. Man, that's a big disad to work through. 50% almost. And that's going to be a big one for them to really try and make up here. And the aggression has already come forward as well. The odds chase already onto the second. Really seeing if they can shut them out, make sure that they don't get any sort of fancy ideas. Sills, nice little bit of damage there, but doesn't quite find the frags he wants to. Will eventually pay with his life. And it looks like the Plucky Luckers are going to have to keep backing off.
Yeah, but they do end up getting the Uber for the chase, and so they're going to be trying to take it in through one of these doorways. It's going to be Ali, finally decided, as they kind of just walk in without having to use. But there is pressure in house side. Two players did run in there for the Plucky Luckers, who do take down Jubba. That might force the backup, which is what's happening. The chase has to chase the players who went all the way behind in house. SNH does get taken down, but this bought so much time for the Ubers to equalize. It looks like fighting's still happening in house, as we have combos in alley and house for both teams respectively, not really staying in the same spot. Made so much time, so Lucky Plucker showing how to fight that when you don't have Uber.
Yeah, SNH just holding W into the enemy soldier, just winning that fight, and single-handedly the spear tip, creating so much space here. It's finally now the odds to chase, rotating around to the alley side, seeing if perhaps that choreographed bomb can work. Perhaps they can just find something in Jubba trying to get across to the point. Not quite finding anything, gets shut down a little bit, but, lives for the time being as well, so not much to worry about. And he's going to find another angle here, something to work with, peeking and prodding, seeing if there is some sort of opportunity that presents itself here as the stickies are being put down by Mac. He expects that a big soldier bomb coming up top, so we'll see just how the theories are going to work out here. For the time being, and there's a lot of aggression actually coming forward by Zams here as well, just seeing if he can maybe soften some targets up a little bit for his soldier, but unfortunately, the bomb won't accomplish much. Charlie trying to maybe spam from the flank side as well, but not finding anything, and really being shut down here as best they can. Plucky Luckers having a bit of an iron grip right now. Ever so slightly on this point. Now, though, the aggression coming forward on the far side here. Point pressure being put on as well. The Uber exchange being coerced with Eon getting forced. Means it's a much better Uber for the odds to chase, and this is dangerous because Eon might just get caught here if there's not enough body blockers to prevent these scatter shots hitting him. And Flick, oh my god, he just can't do it. Just about managing to live. Eon too slippery of a target, and too many people in between him and that scattergun. So they're still in this fight. Zams gets taken down, so does Charlie. Smile gets right out for it. That's NH. Trying his best here, living for the time being, and that is a bit of re-aggression with the heals. They do lose second, but they will retake it immediately. What a messy fight.
Yeah, and even coming out with the Uber ad, as SNH actually chases the medic. Oh, Scout got there just in time. Looked like Patch Shui down to like 44 health there, very close on that pistol. We do have the combo going in through the house side unless they bait me. Mac walking in there, finds a soldier spamming from very far away, so this is going to be a pretty clear entry, but it is fully spotted as we do have the combo very posted up aggressively in alley as they just walk into the whole Uber. Zams goes down. Medic surfs so far. Patch 2, he might be able to survive, but we do have Smile chasing into house. Bloke goes down though, and it looks like Jubba did such a good job of stalling that, actually saved their medic's life there.
I saw Patchouli go into the skybox and I was so sure he was gonna die. I am very impressed. Beautiful surf to get out into safety. A backcap attempt here out of, I believe, Flick trying to maybe, you know, pull back a little bit of aggression, but ultimately it's not enough. They just stacked mid, and now they're moving forward onto the enemy second, with Flick just kind of seeing if he can maybe catch a respawn or something. The Uber does come out, though, but he will be able to pressure back these players. And with Flick still in behind enemy lines, it has a very crucial asset to have for the side of the odds to chase, because this is a scout potentially causing some havoc. Unfortunately, he's been spotted. They know he's there now. So he's just gonna be a distraction for the best, but hey, it's something.
Yeah, we do have the combo going in through alley. Eon going to be going in through Mac as well. They don't pop Uber immediately. They do eat up what looks like a pipe, but Eon held that one down. There is a back cap going on, but with 7x on the second point, they will be easily enough to cap that. With the player behind, they can kind of just go in with their ad. It's a 5v6 over here with the Uber. Mac doing a bunch of damage into the spawn. Not quite able to get anyone down, but there is point pressure in S&H. These players are desperately running to the point, but Bloke is there to take them down, Silves as well, and that's a clean 2-1 for the side of the Plucky Luckers.
Beautifully played. Nice cut off there by Mac. Just completely disconnecting the team. Players that are in spawn can't get out. Players that are outside can't get back in. They're so just distracted by that. Meanwhile, the cap time forcing them to rotate around, and then just a little bit of soldier aggression is all it takes. And finally, a bit more of a longer one. But still, plenty of time left. 17 minutes. So plenty of play for Plucky Luckers go up now. 2-1, but tons of opportunities for them to have more chances at coming back on the other side. The odds to chase certainly have to find themselves back in this. They are looking a bit shaky again. So we'll see how this mid-fight perhaps can be what gets them on the right road. For now, they're certainly looking nice. Bloke, S&H both taken down. A little bit of damage on their side, but crucially everybody's still alive for now. Charlie just really deep on these chases here. Smile taken down as well. The rest of the combo just trying to escape, and they really want that medic taken down. Unfortunately for them, Eon seems to have taken the correct path to avoid all perils. He will be able to escape to last. That is a nice mid-fight out of the odds to chase, and a nice opportunity to maybe get onto this last, even with equal Ubers.
Yeah, equal Ubers is maintained, but the players are just coming in for the chase to this left side. Soldiers jumping in as well as all the scouts. Bloke is getting chased down by this player, not able to get cleaned up though. Catches an arrow as Flick goes down in the other side. So the chase tried a really quick play there. Didn't work out, but we do have Smile running in, almost getting onto the medic. So that's 1-for-1, 5v5 now. It looks like the chase doesn't want to give this one up as they continue pressuring through the opening door here, the garage door, and they do have players jumping in to this sentry gun, taking damage, landing and surfing onto the right side. Sentry gun does go down finally, and it's still even players, so this fight continues to go on, but I'm not really sure what Charlie can do besides try to hit an air shot onto Bloke and actually find the frag at the end.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because they kill Sams on the other side, which is a much more crucial frag, and with Charlie now cleaned up as well, whatever opportunity they had for approach is surely done. Sure, they find Smile, and Jubba is still very much feeling an opportunity here, but him and Rutu both out of the equation as well. Means Patchouli's left alone, trying to run for his life. Does eventually meet up with Sam, so will live, but that Uber is not coming in useful just yet for either team. With second retaken for Plucky Luckers. A nice opportunity now to get into mid as well. Spawners will be there, but they certainly have an opportunity to get some grounds here. Valley already being poised to be taken here. Silves, nice little direct there again, just denying the soldier any sort of high ground. Finding the targets he needs to for the time being. Just making a little bit of space here. Smile's going to clean up that frag onto Charlie as well, and that opens things up even more so. Smile just taking the charge forward here, seeing what he can do. Does eventually die. But look at the damage dealt to both of the scouts there for a while. So positioning still compromised. The only thing keeping the odds to chase in this is the fact that they did trade out Smile, which is a very dangerous player to have to go up against. So having him gone means it's going to be an opportunity for them to get onto secondary, actually. They're being so aggressive again. Look at Scout already running forward. So much damage by Zams. The bomb coming across as well. Mac eating so much, but crucially, they just kill Flick and Jubba. Now Zams might just get caught himself if he's not careful here. Does eat a lot of arrows. Nice little pipes to take down S&H as well. Sit yourself down. You're not going anywhere. And Zams just keeps walking forward. Can't blame him for trying. It will eventually fall. This looks like a nice opportunity for the Plucky Luckers.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to be taking it in as the Uber for the chase just doesn't really quite find anything. They do have to back up with it. Lucky Pluckers looks like they don't want to immediately use the Uber, but they are getting pressured very hard. Soldier bombing in. Uber is popped out. Mac jumped forward, not able to find anything. There's a little bit of a back cap going on, and it looks like the Lucky Pluckers are chasing some players who went behind into their house. Charlie's going to get cleaned up, but the Ruchu just flicks around the other side, takes down the medic right there, and Chase, they're still in this, and at the end of it, it looks like they're just in such a strong position out of nowhere, but it's still going on. The Lucky Pluckers just pushed in, take down Jubba. Soldier in-house behind, flanking onto the medic, gets taken down. That was Bloke trying that one. SNH is still in here, but at what point is not having a medic going to make them run away?
It looks like they've finally reached that point, but God, both teams endlessly, tirelessly fighting to see if they can keep that ever advantage they have going. Eventually, though, it looks like the Aussie Chase come out on top. That frag onto Eon so crucial in turning the tides of the fight, and maybe the map here, considering they have a nice opportunity now to take this into last. Full Uber in tow for the odds to chase. They comes out immediately across the bridge. Not much of a sentry to worry about just yet. Spawn is still coming up. I mean, Mac just now spawning means no stickies on the point to worry about for the longest time. Sylph's taken down as well means less explosives to worry about on that point. Half the point is already capped. They've lost 2 players, but this is still an equal numbers game, and Eon is far from an Uber, so they don't have to worry about that for a while either. Mac taken down means this fight is still very much possible. Zam's taking on the other side, though. There goes Blow. It's a Soul Scout with Smile. He gets bombed down beautifully. Focused down by Flick and Jubba. And there you go. That's a round on the board for the Aussie Chase. 2-all now. Anybody's game once more.
Yeah, the Chase looking so much stronger than they were at the end of Granary, and they are just catching up. It's not like that last game where the Chase just gets left behind. They are changing up what they're doing. They're making these scrappy fights work. I feel like the Chase just makes this fight so scrappy, so long, and they end up on top as these fights kind of progress, it seems.
They're not chasing anymore. They want to be leaders once again, and they're certainly trying to run away with it now, as this next mid-fight can very well be the momentum they need. Finding Mac early certainly is going to help. Sure, they trade out Charlie for it, but that means Pachuli's unattended on the other side, and Sylphs is certainly going to try to pick up that one for free. Just about gets taken care of, but that's a lot of danger, and with the position compromised this much, and Pachuli's still so low on health as well, meaning he has to just run away with Jubba, seeing if they can escape for the better. And Smile smells blood. Won't quite chase it any further, but still, this is a nice opportunity for the Plucky Luckers already. One mid-fight, second, free for the taking as well, unless the Chasers really want to have a chance here of getting something. Some sort of re-aggression here. Certainly taking their time with that mid-cap, so maybe they have an opportunity here to block and actually get something done as they're very aggressive in this lobby. Charlie eats a lot of damage, but eventually the Uber does come up. Still, he's going to be dropped before anything else happens, and the exchange would start to favor Lucky Luckers here, and it looks like the Aussie Chase are very much aware of that and backing out.
Yeah, they do end up back there. Even Ubers again. Rutu back to NG. That seems to be the go-to, and it's been working out well for them, so why change it up? We do have Smile and Mac peeking into the front door, though. Not sure if there's going to be enough time to get a gun down, as there is a trade. Actually, not a trade. Bloke and Sylphs go down off the aggression. SNH as well. That's 3 down. Mac is stuck in lobby, getting chased by Charlie, who Mac somehow wins that one. That's kind of insane right there. We do have another soldier following it up. Are they going to be the next victim of Mac? Mac gets arrowed again. This guy's unkillable. 90 health in the house. Out with the Zatachi. Goes down by Flick, but you know, that was a fun fight there. Mac almost holding that one down. With Demo down, there's probably going to be a chance for the Chase to try something here for the couple seconds.
Yeah, they certainly have an opportunity here. They have to worry about that SNH sniper, though. He's going to be a dangerous one to run into, especially when you're not ready for it. Just a single headshot could totally turn this momentum back around. They're being cautious. They're being careful. They're trying to pick off players that are overextended, like Sylphs, as Jubba looks straight on the other side. But there's the shot onto Patchouli. That's the one that matters. And with that, it all comes crumbling down. As long as they can keep Eon safe now, this is an easy round for the Plucky Luckers to keep going forward. Crucially, at least a couple of players live. Zams putting on some cheeky sticky traps, but they won't find anything. And Charlie probably won't be able to do much either. They have to fear that sniper. Fear the Reaper, so to say. And it is going wonderfully for the Plucky Luckers. Just another great sniper play out of SNH. Working out perfectly. It's another opportunity to get into this last with a full Uber. Now, the sniper makes the push a little tougher, but might not matter as long as he can pull his weight. One shot is all it takes, and he's pulled his weight already as the Uber comes across. We're gonna see what they can do with it. Sentry spotted out immediately, as players are just behind the point. However, they still have to worry about the fact that they haven't killed anybody just yet, and Bloke goes down. Meaning that, well, the fight's starting to turn for the worse. Finally, the sneaks are cleared off, though. Smug can just stand on the point, get a lot of cap time. Finally, he pulls players' attention there. With Zam's taken down now, maybe, just maybe, getting some rotation around here could be all it takes. And eventually, SNH gets taken down for just trying to snipe so aggressively. So it does look like just about they've held on. Now with the Uber coming up in their favor, maybe there's a bit of an opportunity here for the odds to chase.
Yeah, Smile trying to hold down the right side of Shutters. Mac has the sticky traps up. Mac playing very passive here, is probably aware there's going to be some sort of aggression off the ad, which is exactly what's happening. Both scouts on point. Take down Bloke as Sylves jumps in, finds Rutu in the corner. SNH follows it up, takes down Flick. Going really well here for both sides. No scouts means it's going to be really hard to cap that point. Air shot, I believe, landing onto Charlie. They're taking him down, and that's going to be 3 down. Even Ubers. Plucky Luckers are probably going to try something here as Sylves is all the way on the right side. I'm anticipating him just jumping straight through, which is what's happening on the medic. Not quite fading away. Scout on point already pressuring that one down. Ubers are being traded. Player ad is still up for the side of Plucky Luckers. And we do have fights going on behind the point, but it looks like Plucky Luckers just want to collapse after this fight. Try to hit their shots with their soldiers. And it's going to be Charlie who goes down first. Bloke as well. Trades are happening here. Right now we have Scout on the demo. Zams does go down. Smile and SNH trying to lead this one out. Still going on. What a scrappy fight as SNH gets cleaned up, but trades for it onto Rutu. Medic on point with the Solemn Vow.
My
out.
God. Jumbo with the 3K trying to keep this alive, but truly single-handedly winning the fight against Smile. Gets the saw as well. Just about staying in there. What a scrappy push. Oh my lord. And yet they stay in this. They keep in this. They have an opportunity now to get back onto that second as well. Still have to worry about that SNH sniper though. He's picking up the rifle again at the right time here. It's just a crucial little snipe is all it takes. Somebody walking to the wrong sideline and it's over. It could be curtains. He's a clutch sniper. Maybe just the soldier aggression could be what takes him across as well. Sylves, nice damage here onto the medic, but not quite enough with Mac taken down as well. And SNH now the Uber forced out effectively. But it is enough to take down half the team. Make that Sylves taken down as well. And this is looking like great coast-to-coast potential for the odds to chase.
Yeah, it is a great chance to just take it all the way to last, especially with these players getting their spawns pushed back all the way to last. We're just going to have a clean walkthrough. I would anticipate, at least, we do have everyone in. No hiders are anywhere, and so that's going to be straight on the point. No sniper up to the side of Plucky Luckers. Actually, the fight is going on. I kind of missed that. Uber is going in through the left side, just pushing everyone out. But you know, they didn't find a frag here, and they're kind of overextending through underpass.
You're just about living. Nice surf to get out of harm's way, but that was dangerous. And there you go. That's 3 players down, both Scouts and Sylves out of the equation. That Uber ad didn't quite amount to as much as they wanted it to, and with Bloke maybe just about escaping, but almost getting caught. They're going to have to be sitting on last. And now there's a full Uber for the side of the Oz chase, so they're just going to be playing off the standard of, well, we just wait for them to make a mistake. And go off the back of that as the Uber comes into last now. SNH taken down immediately as they just try to fight these players off into spawn. Bully them back as far as he can. Mac is not going to be getting out of spawn or doing anything. And neither is Eon. He's not going to be able to heal anybody who is outside of spawn. So they're just going to kill these players before they can really do anything to try and protect the point. And there you go. The odds of chase go up another round. Make it 3-2. It's anybody's game. It's a close match still, but they're up now. And with under 6 minutes left, it's certainly looking like they could seal the deal on this one. Just a little bit more, hold out a little longer, and things could be over. But Plucky Luckers have every opportunity to still come back.
Yeah, the chase punishing every mistake the other team makes. They're just playing so aggressive without quite being close enough to be caught. And they kind of showed it there on that underpass push, casting them out.
Ever so slightly. We'll see if they can repeat great this year. Bloke dying early certainly is nice for the odds to chase. They've been on top of these mids now, been on top of shutting down the soldiers better, and well, Sylves behind is basically all they're banking on. Actually, never mind, he escaped as well, so cut that. They're just gonna try to hold this on second instead. Nice sticky clearing there by Zams. That's Charlie taken down in the meantime, so making it equal in terms of numbers, but positioning is so nice for the odds to chase. They're so aggressive already. Rutu just gets directly onto Eon. Nice meat shot. Oh my lord. Gets away with a lot. Crucially on the other side though, Mac and SNH and Sylves just clean up the enemy team. Patchouli is dead, which means no heals, no Uber. They just have to be cautious about potential Zam sticky bombs, which they clear up. by killing him. So here we go. Nice opportunity for the Plucky Luckers to come back into this, get themselves another round on the board, keep this going, and keep this anybody's match. So let's see how they try to approach this. So ideally don't want to use, obviously they still do anyway. And if they catch Patchouli, it might not even matter. Max certainly trying to get that down, and there you go. That's 2 for the price of 1. As Jubba goes down 2. And there we go. Nice opportunity again to get themselves into last.
Yeah, they are just going to be going into last straight away as the gun tries to get built up. Not sure if it's going to go up in time, but Smiles just immediately goes down to Flick. We have soldiers in the sky trying to land onto Zams, doing so much damage over there, but SNH did clean up Charlie, so it's going very well at the start here as SNH again continues forward, getting on the point, baiting everyone to block that. Flick, though, jumps in, takes down Mac, Jubba, and Zams combining for 3 frags total. And yeah, the chase just was not afraid of that, went straight in and took everyone out for Plucky Luckers.
Great focus on that one. They're finding the targets they need to, and with Smell the only one left, don't blame him for not necessarily fighting it. But things are starting to look a little dicey here for the Plucky Luckers. Now with 3.5 minutes on the clock, they have to start really whipping up some miracles if they want to get another round on the board, or let alone another 2, and make sure that the Aussie Chase don't take home any points tonight, because if they take home some points, then, well, at least in the golden cap, certainly bought themselves that much. Jubba dying in lobby, trying to fight off a little bit here, won't be able to do much, and looks like this is enough to pull back a couple of players with that backup attempt out of both of the soldiers. Eventually, Bloke does go down, but Silks gets out to the medic. Nice force onto Patchouli. That's exactly what he was looking for. Medic just presents himself on a silver platter. Now it's just a matter of what can the Plucky Luckers do here, because they are in a dire position themselves. Only 3 players alive, 2 scouts chasing them down, and Mac just narrowly escaping with his life. So they will be able to keep that Uber in tow. But they're still going to have to worry about that mid getting flipped in the favor of the red side. So it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, we do have it coming out. Jubba actually pre-bombing the doorway, going to be doing a lot of damage there. I was hoping he would get on the medic. They're not quite able to. Rutu does try to follow that one up, gets cleaned up. So that was kind of the play it looked like. Now down one, it's going to be very hard to block this Uber as the scouts are already in. Bloke on the point. Eon, though, down to 50 health. Almost got spammed out of that one. The aggression is going to continue as Patchouli doesn't have Uber yet, and Ali is going to be the door of choice as Smile leads this one up. Again, no one is here to really block it. Looks like Zams is out just in time, and so while the Plucky Luckers did a really great job taking both those points, now it's going to be even Ubers on last. They're going to have to break this one if they want to cap.
That's the Chase biding their time here, knowing they're up around, and there's no reason to take unnecessary risks. If you can just hold last here with an equal Uber situation, which is certainly going to be easier than taking a risk and losing a round, they have a nice opportunity to keep themselves in this and get all the points that they can possibly get off of this. Flick down, though, does complicate that a little bit. The sentry isn't going to be built either, at least not anytime soon, as they're continuously shutting it down. And there's a lot of aggression here just coming out of set of Plucky Luckers. Matter of fact, they're just going to use the Uber in eventually solo on Smile, just seeing what they can do with it. It's obviously going to fade a lot sooner for Eon, but it's out of harm's way. Nobody's really in any sort of danger, and somebody might just overextend and get caught. No, alright, they do escape, but it's still a player down with Charlie out of the equation. A heavy now coming up onto the point as well, and have to make some kind of a priority target sitting duck. Sure, he can shut down the soldiers as best he can, but ultimately, they're just sitting ducks on there. They're just getting spammed down slowly but surely, one by one. Smile and Mac versus Jubba and Charlie on the other side, but Mac just stands on the point with the katana. Lots of damage, lots of cap time. Smile has to clutch this alone against 2 soldiers whom Patchouli is desperately trying to keep alive. At this point, maybe just change your attention, and there you go. Eon cleans up that frag. If you're not going to be able to win on the cap, you can at least win off of just getting another advantage in your cards. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, this is the do or die time. That Uber has to come up stat. Another opportunity will not present itself after that.
Yeah, it will need to come up. Like you said, that full ad, it's such a good opportunity. So little time, though. They're going to be going in through left side with... Oh, Demo! They didn't check the sticks. Mac just goes down instantly. Their scouts leading it in. That's going to be Bloke, who actually goes down to Rutu on Spy. It's going to be even frags, but the gun is still up. Scout on point gets cleaned up immediately, and that is heartbreaking to see.
That is crucial. That sticky trap onto Mac single-handedly saving that last push. Or that last hold, much rather, for the side of the Aussie Chase. Without that, it could have gone anybody's way. But crucially, Sentry does stay. The scouts can't do anything on the point. And the Aussie Chase managed to take the second map, which means It's 3 points each. It's a tie game across these two maps. Both teams proving once more they were actually pretty evenly matched. It was the prediction at the start, and even though we were questioning it, at least for Granary for a while, with how dominant after a while the Plucky Luckers were looking, they do stumble a bit more on Metalworks, and this is a great playoffs preview, because I don't doubt that either of these teams are definitely making it. They're making it for sure.
Yeah, Chase, so resilient to come back, like you said, and both games ending so close is kind of crazy. Either way, we will eventually have the logs up. We can talk about who do you think was kind of the MVP of the chase?
Again, I gotta say it's Chuba. I mean, it shows just stats wise as well, but the amount of opportunities he's created, just the bombs he gets away with, the damage he does is unbelievable. The impact, but also Charlie. Like, it doesn't show as much in the stats, but Charlie also had some crazy just opportunities where he slips in perfectly timed bombs. It worked out beautifully, and all it took was, Rutu and Flick now stepping up a little bit more, stepping up to the plate, getting away with more, and cleaning up more, and it shows in the KD, and there you go, right? It's basically a complete flip side of what Granary was like, and perhaps we're just starting to see what map advantages are crystallizing themselves for these teams, right? Each team, I mean, the scoreline was closer on Metalworks, but I still think the odds of chase looked a lot more confident on it overall. Like, they just looked like they knew what they were doing more often.
Yeah, it did look like they had a good plan for everything, especially those difficult situations where they have like slight disadvantage. It seemed like they knew exactly how to bait the Plucky Luckers into pushing forward, leaving at the perfect time, and then recollapsing is, I think, what won the most of those fights. And if they can keep that up, they will be nearly impossible to beat.
Yeah, certainly. What a match! What a match! I'm excited to see that this is how this went out. It's probably the most diplomatic outcome. Both teams taking away a map, showing that they are evenly matched and that there is plenty to still play for should they meet again in playoffs, which I have no doubt about whatsoever. I guess we'll see how that goes on for both of these teams. I don't know, what are their next matches? We don't know yet, right? Yeah, we should do, I think. Looks like Plucky Luckers are going to be going up against and something. No, actually, we don't know what they're going up against next. Never mind. Matches aren't scheduled yet. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. I guess it is a weird format this time around. Well, I wish them the best of luck, both of these teams, continuing forward in their opportunities for the next weeks of the season. They shall do well, I think. They're gonna have a good time overall. A great showing from both. Very interesting.